I have a live dashboard. It's called chat. See, there you are, chat. Do you see yourself? Companies invest a lot in analytics, but are these investments valuable? These two people studied 1,500 online retailers and found that using the Descriptive dashboard increased their weekly revenue by 4 to 10%. Ooh la la. We use data from over 1,500 small and medium e-commerce global sellers, mostly Shopify stores, with an average monthly revenue of about 60K. Every retailer adopted an analytics dashboard that display KPIs such as weekly sales, average basket size, conversion rate, etc. What's this? Summary stats? Looks like an APA formatted table. When the retailer adopted a dashboard, the dashboard's provider also collected historical data, so we see the performance before and after adoption. Because the dashboard was adopted in different times, adoption started, which you know what that means. No, I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. Oh, okay, I see. When you have, okay, this is what they're saying. When you have different times of adoption and when you do it and how much you do it, the data is a nightmare data. Luckily, all these measures show the same converging result, which are that adopting the Descriptive dashboard yields an increase in revenues, diversity of products sold, number of repeat customers, and number of transactions. As usual, causality disclaimers apply, right? Correlation does not equal causation, but if you have 1,500 different e-commerce platforms who are monitoring their shit through an online dashboard, perhaps the dashboard helped increase revenue. But can we say more than about whether the descriptive dashboard causes these effects? So how a unique feature of a data is that we observe the retailer actually use the dashboard. And comparing the results of dashboard users to non-users, we see that only users reap the benefits of the dashboard. Ah, a little key logging. You know, you accept the cookies, you do the accept all. You scroll all the way to the bottom and say, I agree to the terms and conditions. Is he just talking about adding a bit of info for the KPIs? Exactly. So this dashboard is like, it's like this. I have a live dashboard. It's called chat. See, there you are, chat. Do you see yourself? It also gives me, like, all the follows and all the shit that's happening in my chat. Here's all the people who come once and follow and never come again. But it also gives me a headline of like what's actually happening in my chat. How long I've been on, how many people are here, how many views my channel had, how many followers I have. That's my dashboard. It's descriptive. And what they mean by descriptive is empirical or has happened, right? This is different from predictive, which is what we expect or what we model or what we simulate to be in the future, right? I'm talking about descriptive dashboards. It's literally like your point of sales dashboard. What the fuck did you sell? How much? People who used it had increases in sales, whereas people who didn't use it, even though they signed up for it or adopted it, they had decreasing trends. Interessante. Next, we investigated the retailers, learned directly from the dashboard. We initially hypothesized that retailers are most likely to change pricing and advertising strategies based on the dashboard KPIs. We find that retailers do not change these strategies. Instead, descriptive analytics serve to help retailers monitor additional marketing technologies and amplify their value. Most retailers adopt additional technologies, but only the retailers that use dashboards are able to benefit from them. Interesting. Why? For example, we see that many retailers adopt CRM, personalization, and prospecting MarTech. This is marketing technology. But only those who use dashboard experience the benefits of increased diversity products sold, increases in transactions, increased revenue from repeat customers. Okay, so I wonder if they explain why. My explanation for why this is happening is because the technologies they're purchasing into are relevant to the things they're seeing in the dashboard. So they're selling teddy bears, and certain teddy bears are selling. Like, oh, all the green teddy bears are selling. Okay, well then let's look at our marketing. What shit would be related to teddy bears? And for whatever reason, green teddy bears. All this particular shit is related to the sales of perhaps plush toys or toys in general. Things that are marketed towards people who like the color green or green vintage things or green collectible or antique things or whatever. Perhaps there is a market of tools, widgets, or actual entire suites of products that allow you to optimize the paths as to which you sell things. I saw this at KFC. A lot of the time, this happened. So a lot of the time, it wasn't that retailers, so people at KFC would change their pricing. We tried to do that, and there was a lot of blowback. Rather, we supplemented what we were doing with more tech. So purchasing into new advertising streams, optimizing our advertising strategies, that allowed us to reap more benefit. So it says, essentially, if you use your dashboard and target perhaps the correct MarTech solutions, you might stand to gain from your dashboard capabilities. Our descriptive is so popular then, although they often leave users to generate their own insights, they provide a simple way to assess different decisions, enabling managers to extend the range of actions and they can take and to integrate new technologies. Yeah, a lot of the time also, it's not that the data scientists are saying like, oh, we should do XYZ. A lot of the time, the people who are reading into the dashboards, particularly the descriptive or the ones that have predictions, expected results, or even prescriptions, a lot of the time the decision-making group who reads into those things, they perhaps start the conversation off with the stats, what's happening, and that leads into the conversation of what are our next steps. The main benefit is a decent feedback loop to measure the outcome of different marketing strategies. One step before that, so they're not saying that marketing strategies lead to good outcomes. They're saying that because we're able to monitor what the hell's going on with our store, we are going to buy into good marketing strategies versus people who don't know what's going on with their store. Those people either do not purchase into marketing strategies, or when they do, it's a waste of money. The robotic way to use this info is to say, here's where our gains and losses are. Cut the losses, optimize the gains. People are afraid to cut the losses. Okay. KFC was like this. If you have 5 items on the board, and 2 of those 5 items, they cost the franchisee, the person who owns the store, they actually cost money to keep those products on the board. They would rather keep them on the board because of the small cult that likes those things. They'd rather keep it on the board because they're bound to buy a little of some other things. Now, logically, if you cut this, you actually might save more money and increase profits, right? However, here's what happens. Rather than cutting the things that are wasteful or not profitable, you optimize around the things that are, and you upsell the not profitable stuff. So that's how you get shit like, buy this thing that we just put out that everyone likes. If you do that, we'll throw in a free this. And they're hoping that people get hooked onto the free whatever. But that's not the case. That actually never happens because the product's not good. That product might gain 1 or 2 new users, but you stand to gain like 10 new users for every 1 new user you get here, right? So cutting this is the robotic answer. But the human answer is keep this and make this even better. So you're spending more money here, but you invest in this area and grow a lot larger to hide really the deficit of this. And against selling at a loss intentionally to increase customer satisfaction. Well, IKEA selling food is a loss, right? I don't hear a lot of people taking lunch breaks and going to the fucking IKEA for Swedish meatballs, right? Usually IKEAs are in a part of the town that are not accessible for a lunchtime business crowd. However, IKEA doesn't have to rely on their food in order to sell the things that primarily make them money, right? Whereas when we're talking about, say, KFC, they have to sell food. And so this is food, as well as the stuff that sells well that is also food. Like, it's all food, right? It would be more equivalent to saying, what happens when IKEA has a shitty model of a couch? We all know the answer here. If IKEA has a shitty model of a couch, and that couch is also made of particle board, and it costs them like $20 to build the couch, but it's costing you $200 to buy the couch, they will cut that couch out of their inventory. That is why when you go into the IKEA site and you're like, man, I really love this couch from college. Let's buy this exact same couch for my new place as a young adult in a new place. And you find out that that model of that couch doesn't exist anymore. Well, IKEA did what the robotic answer was to do. Cut your losses.